Hi, Luminaires. How is everybody? Hi. Welcome. My name is Jamie Butler. I'm the Everyday Medium, which simply just means I am a single person, not a single person, but I'm an individual who is avidly seeking to bring normalcy to our psychic and intuitive abilities, the everydayness of it. And we're going to talk about the everydayness of how cosmic energy can shape our collective vibration as well. So get comfortable, cozy in. Thank you for being here. Let's draw this in. I was laughing. Oh my goodness. I was laughing so hard as Dan typed in the chat thread, said 5 flares in the last couple of days. I'm just soaking it all in. I was like, how are you soaking it in? I am having physical reactions to the solar flares. I can't point at anything else in my life. My diet hasn't changed. My sleep, the weather has been cold in Atlanta, but as humans, we kind of go through and are like, okay, what's happening externally to create this or elicit this response? So this is what I wanted to talk about. And a few of you are like, live on a Tuesday. I know it's very unique, but we're in the middle of these solar flares and some really unique astrological actions. So I just kind of wanted to talk about it because maybe this will help some of you stay more in your body and more awake and more alert. As I have these healing series I like to do, these 10-day deep dives and these 21 days of consecutive Reiki. And then the 10 days that I wanted to do in February kind of got hijacked by Maitland and other spirit guides that I just, you sit and listen to. You just stay open. You're like, universe, speak. I think this is how a lot of us roll. And they were like, listen, we need to really align this to the astrological activity that's going to be happening in February because it's really unique. I was like, okay. I haven't done that before. Like, you're going to have to teach me how that's happening. So we did the 10 days. It's posted now on the website. If you've ever wanted to experience a repetitive, deep cleaning, remote Reiki, go for it. This is a really great month to experience it. We took every topic and we aligned it to the astrological kind of effect and what's happening. And that got me thinking, we're in the middle of all this solar flare action. Do we really know how it's affecting us? And do we really know what's happening? Like, what is a solar flare, which is pretty much like a burp. This kind of sounds funny, but it's a huge burst of energy that comes off the sun. And you can kind of think about the sun as being like this really big, huge, live, giant living furnace. The heat, just fire. It's constantly moving and it's constantly pulsing. And just imagine that there's a buildup of pressure in one area, kind of like a zit, if we could say it that way too. And that energy that builds up the pressure, when it releases, it's not just about sending heat and that furnace energy out there. It really is sending out this wave of electromagnetic energy, and it's huge and it's big. And the ones that we're experiencing now are so large that they can interfere with so much. They can interfere with satellites. We have proof that it disrupts satellite activity. It actually changes and influences the Earth's magnetic field. It can cause power grid fluctuations. It increases the aurora effect in the northern and southern hemispheres. And that's not us sitting around talking woo-woo. This is measured science. This is physics. And this is what's going on. So when we are being bathed in that extra electromagnetic burst of energy that's rushing over us, the Earth isn't really protected or sealed from the sun. So the Earth is practicing that, hey, take it, accept it, move it through, keep it going kind of a thing that we like to talk about as energy sensitives. But the Earth has its little magnetic field. And you can imagine that like a little invisible bubble. I think a bubble is a nice way to think about it because it's not like this brick wall and it's not really solid. And when the solar flares occur and the burst of electromagnetic energy comes, it moves into the magnetic field and it changes it. It's just, if we're not aware of this, like, if we're not aware of this, we become reactive and we're moving from spaces that we aren't consciously settled into. And that can be an issue. So I was just seeing Judy said the 10 days that she joined helped in a very good way. I would like to know, what is a very good way? I'd love to hear more. Hi Frocy says, the new lunar year, the fire horse, is going to be the day of the solar eclipse, ring of fire. Just bring it on. Hello, February 17th. That'll be right towards like the end of the 10 days of focused energy. It's going to be so incredible. Sheldon says, I'm just fascinated by how different it affects every person. Just ride the waves. Pockets of stillness as the solar flares make me feel dizzy for sure. And Stuart is highlighting that February 17th mark is Colleen Ziegler's birthday, and it is true. Oh, if you are interested in the 10 days, I was just linking how we came to the topic of how cosmic energy shapes our collective vibration is because of the inspiration of the 10 days and Spirit saying, hey, for this month, I really want you to pay attention to it. And that's proving to be very true with this like high activity of solar flares recently. So if you're interested in it, you can check out the links below. Would love for you to look at that. And we also have our higher consciousness, maintaining higher consciousness retreat in Sedona coming at the end of this month. We still have some seats. So if you want to just be like, let's do this, we're going to pop on in. We have breath work, somatic work, some movement, music, as well as other little retreat exercises that we're going to be doing to help us practice maintaining higher consciousness energy, which is something we are really going to need as we move into March and the rest of this year, because it's kind of crazy. Links below. We also have Reiki Level 2 coming up if you wanted to jump in, and we have our Mastership coming up. So just check us out, jamiebutlermedium.com. You can sign up for the newsletter. It goes out once a month. Sometimes we do another little news blast, but it's like once a month and we just let you know what we're up to. And we're building a telepathy retreat in August. That's coming together. Just heads up for that. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. It really helps us get the message out there. Finding people who are vibing like us, creating a safe kind of collective community to talk about this content in a very normalized way, not making it weird. So have you ever, and this is kind of separate than the astrological stuff, I just kind of want to highlight what a glitch is so that you don't kind of go off the rails when we start thinking about glitching. Have you ever had where your phone, like a bad storm comes in and your phone service gets weird, like it goes in and out? Or have you ever had it where your GPS system starts to act strange and like it shows you you're driving here and then all of a sudden you're over here and then you're back over here? Like these glitches, these interruptions. Or listening to the radio and the signal goes in and out. The static comes in, the static goes away. This is all very like relatable examples of what you're doing in your everyday life for that electromagnetic frequency coming in and creating a little bit of an imbalance. The thing that I want you to note, and here's where it starts to become really personal, because we're going to talk about you, and we're going to talk about how your nervous system is electrical. So I think we can understand the examples about the phone and your GPS and the radio because we deem them as electrical devices. I think it's a little bit more rare to look at humans and go, that's an electrical device. You know, where are we plugged into? We're 0 point energy at this time. So I want you to remember and just recall that you are an electrical system. Like your brain communicates through electrical signaling. Your heart has an electromagnetic field around it that can be measured. And when your planets, like that magnetic field, when the planet's magnetic field changes, the sensitive systems like the human body, the nervous system, the heart structure, often feels it first. These are the first responders for these shifts of energies that are happening out there in the world. And so that can make you feel tired for no reason, just like you want to lay flat and just kind of glitch out. Some of you might have trouble sleeping. That can be a sign of being bathed in an irregular electromagnetic field. Head pressure, which is how I am reacting to this one. My head is, it's not a headache, but somebody has put a pump in it and it's just full behind my eyeballs. You can feel overstimulated, like life is too much. You just need to check out for a second. Will you please just stand back? Stop talking to me. You're coming at me with too much. Some of you might react with you need to shut up right now. Like, shut this down. You can't do this. Or your head can get a little foggy and the thoughts are really sporadic, kind of soft. Or some of you, the opposite can happen. Like Sheldon was saying, I like paying attention to how uniquely different people respond differently to this kind of energy. And some of you might have these sudden bursts of energy. And you get up and you feel like a superhero and you just got to do a lot. You just got to do everything. It doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you. It doesn't mean because you have energy or because you have a lack of energy. It just means that your body is really responding to the environmental input, to what the solar flare is doing around the magnetic field of the earth. Just like some people feel the weather, or the weather changes their mood, or the barometric pressure changes, the aches and pains in the joints, like the knees. So some people can feel solar activity in their body and their own electrical system. So we have a few of you, like Michelle's like, is there anything that we can do to lessen this impact? There are a few things that you can do. Number one is stay conscious about it so that the blame is not put somewhere else. So have an app, have a website. You don't have to look at it all the time. But if you find that you're fluctuating and you're like, this is different, I don't normally behave this way, you go and you check. And I would check not just the solar flares. NASA has a site on it. You can find it. I would also look at the Schumann's resonance. What's the heartbeat of the earth? Because this is all reactions of like how the electromagnetic field is responding. And so you can get a better idea of what are you reacting to. And if it's looking pretty common, then you can go, all right, I got to point fingers at myself and figure out kind of what I'm dealing with or what I'm working with in my environment. Or if it is looking high solar flare activity, which it has been lately if you're watching live, and then you can look and say, okay, look, I'm obviously a sensitive system and I'm reacting to the solar activity around me and my nervous system needs regulation. Several things that you can help with the nervous system and supporting it. Breath work, that's number one. Being conscious to look to see if it's an external environment. Okay, it is. Coming into some breath work. On any case, actually. I like a good box breath, 4-part breath, counting 4 as you breathe in, holding your breath for 4, breathing out to 4, remaining empty to 4, and just cycling it. See if you can do 16 cycles. This will help regulate the nervous system. It gives it balance, right? So we're not lingering on pulling in too much breath or holding it for too long or releasing long or staying empty for too long. There's sections to this. There's a balance. That would be the first and easiest thing. If you find yourself to be really, really sensitive, I would start looking at some EMF blockers. We can go down conspiracy and rabbit holes here, but we're not going to. Copper is a really good EMF blocker. You can find some magnets and stickers that can go on computers, internet devices, things of that nature. I would, as if you are responding to electromagnetic activity of this nature, I would unplug your internet at night. I would do certain things in the house to create spaces that have less electromagnetic energy in it so that you can recoup and rebuild. I would especially pay attention to your bed. And guys, if I ever, I should say now, when I get my center back together, hopefully in North Carolina, that's where my eyes are, I definitely, when I build my guest cabins for you guys to come stay when we do in-person retreats and lessons, I'm going to build little Faraday cages over the beds so that when you go to bed and you close the little screen around your bed, there is no activity whatsoever and you get to sleep and repair. I think it's very important. I don't think it's detrimental. I don't think it's wrong that we have extra electromagnetic fields or, cell phones and all this activity. I really believe our bodies can adapt, but there's some of us that are so sensitive, we do need that break to recoup. Shungite, says one of our Luminaires, Christine Savvy. Here it is. I keep it around my computer now. Yes, you can place shungite on your internet or around your computer to help even out the frequencies. It's really nice. Shungite is a crystal. It's very lightweight. I know, it's interesting, isn't it? Simple things. So when we look at astrological energies and how we interpret that, like the interpretations of solar activity, like why is it there? What is it doing? What's it teaching? What's it showing us? That's that layer of astrology kind of on top of the action of what solar flares are. So in astrology, the sun, which is what we're focusing on right now, is the center. It's the life force. It's the key of chi, life force, energy, consciousness, vitality, the identity of our solar system. It is the thing, it's the center. And it's the center for the astrological chart for a reason. Without the sun, nothing moves. Like that's home base for us. And astrologers, when they're reading with the activity of solar flares, they don't really see them as random activities. They see them as amplifiers. And the best way I know how to explain this to you is like if you think about astrology like being a song that's already playing on the radio, and that is the translation of the astrology for the day. And when the solar flare happens, it's like the volume on the song goes way up, and it gets really loud, and then when it stops, the volume comes back down. So whatever themes are already active, like in the song, whatever harmony it is, whatever theme they're talking about, wherever they are, that's like intensifying them. It's adding strength and energy into them. So if there's already a lot around like leadership, identity, power, visibility, truth coming to light, these would be the things that would be pushed into that theme that's already happening on Earth. So there would be more of it occurring. So the solar flare doesn't create the theme. It doesn't make something happen. It amplifies what's already happening on Earth or already happening in the situation. Because there's other locations out there besides Earth that are feeling those solar flares and those electromagnetic frequencies. So it doesn't create the theme, but it does kind of boost it, speed it up, amplify it, make it louder, make it stronger. So on a personal level, like for you, as you're feeling it, you got to look at what theme is alive for you. What are you thinking about? What are you holding? What are you carrying? What are you managing? And then the solar flare happens, the electromagnetic field just kind of blows up. And on a personal level, you might notice that you feel more reactive to that situation that you're in, or you might feel more emotionally strong about the situation that you're in, or you can also gain a lot of clarity about the situation that you're in, and you can get that clarity around who you are or who you're not. And so all of a sudden with this solar flare activity, you can kind of come to and just go, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. And you're like, it's really not like me to put my foot down and just make immediate changes like that. Like, am I weirding out on myself? Like, I just can't. You might want to then look at your app or online and say, hey, there's solar flares happening, because I tend to rev up and gain a lot of clarity and feel very good about setting my boundaries, and I don't waver on it. So you just kind of come to the table with this amplified strength. You can also have the urge to speak your truth more clear, more loud. with more frequency, meaning repetition. And you're like, why am I doing this? I feel like I need a microphone and a soapbox. I just keep harping on this, and this is not like me. Checks for some solar flares because it's amplifying something that you're carrying already. You might feel absolutely done with the things that drain you. And so it could be something that you're working on and you're trying to make it work, but it's a little tedious and you're kind of done with it. And you wanted to say goodbye to it before. And now we have this solar flare action and you just kind of rattles all your electrical systems. And then you're just like drawing a line. You're like, I'm done. So it kind of makes you a little bit more black and white when it comes to action or motive. Yes or no. I'm all in, I'm out of here. There's no more wavering or like softness. Solar flares aren't soft. It's kind of like getting punched. Let's see. Blocking the body from the flares, says Beritin 1307. It's also blocking your body from being able to absorb higher energies, hence blocking your ascension. The flares contain codes and information. That's really good insight. So to join you in on that conversation, absolutely supporting what you're bringing to the table. But I also want to highlight that there's some people who are so sensitive that when these solar flares happen, it overwhelms their electrical system. And it overwhelms to a point where they feel non-performative, non in their body. And so for them to recalibrate with that, because I absolutely agree, it's not about blocking them because it has a negative reaction. I don't feel like there's a good or a bad to this. It is bathing with cosmic vibration. Sounded so groovy. Cosmic vibration. And to block anything out 100%, to me, in my opinion, is too absolute. And who are we to say about what is 100% good for us and what is 100% bad? But if you are highly overwhelmed, I do suggest taking some time to regulate the nervous system, come into some breath work, come into some yoga, some meditation, hanging out with some shungite. And somebody asked, where do you buy your shungite? I buy mine when I go to the Tucson Gem Show, which is happening right now out in Tucson, Arizona. And I wish I was there, but I'm not this year. I will be there next year. Miss everybody that's out there. So when solar storms are happening, these periods that create a lot of solar flares, you might hear people say or respond to you or hear more of this in your environment where people are just kind of drawing a line. Like, I just can't tolerate this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm over it. I have no patience to pretend like I want to be here anymore. And so when I hear stuff like this, I tend to celebrate people because their no to whatever they're in is a really big yes and a really big win for whatever they want to align themselves to. So I really like it. And I like knowing that solar flares can offer us this kind of yes, no energy to really find that movement in the direction that fits us. You might hear a lot of people say, I just need to rest. I just need more rest. Or I need change in my life right now. Like, I can't do what I'm doing. I can't stay where I am. I need change. And there might be a sense of urgency. That can be good or bad because some people can rush into some things where you might need to have taken some time. So don't forget to check in with yourself about what you're processing and what you're going through to really see where are you aligned. Because if we think about the sun being the life force, being the energy, like it's the feeder, it's feeding us energy to take action on yes, no, to make movement. And so you really want to make sure that you're aligned with what action you're doing or what you're choosing not to do. You also want to check, like, where are you leaking energy? It's an interesting statement. If you don't like looking at it as the negative, like, where am I leaking energy? You can say to yourself, where can I be stronger in containing my energy? So it's the same kind of hide and seek look request, but it's wired to a more positive outcome. Then you also want to look at, where are you living out of habit instead of truth? Because these solar flares can be such a good wake up. It's like the sun reaching out with hands and grabbing shoulders and going, "Why aren't you awake right now?" You're like, "Pay attention." And so when we get it, which it's not that dramatic, I promise. It's more corrective and putting you in alignment with things instead of like really drama, but it just feels fun to make it that way. Because it's more about a reboot. It's positioning you again. It's waking you up. And when we're energy sensitive, a wake up can feel very subtle or it can feel very overwhelming. So wherever you are on the spectrum, it's like come back and just really identify, where is this coming from in your world? Is it environmental? Is it astrological? Is it from the sun? Is it from a relationship? Where is it? Kind of identify that source and then find some strategies like with breath work, yoga, meditation. I like floating. Hit some wind therapy. Do you guys ever do that? You're like, I just gotta feel the wind in my hair. I'm gonna go get my skates on. I'm gonna get on my bike. I'm gonna like, I don't know, run and just feel. So you can do that too. It's very helpful. Look at the elements. Elements, because our fire element is the one doing the solar flares. So all of this that we talked about, let's take it like broad. Let's pull back from it. We're looking at it as it's happening to us and our objects and our things. Let's pull it back in a broad look and zoom out and look at how when solar activity is increasing, it's not just about the individual. I mean, it is, but it's not. We're all made of the same thing and we're all connected. It's really affecting the collective emotional field. And you're like, what does that mean? What's in a collective emotional field? Think of it like this. If you put a bunch of people in a room and it's dark and you slowly start to turn the light on, like on a dimmer, and you're just like cranking it up, you know, a few people will be like, oh, the lights are coming on. Hey, and they start to talk about it and it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. By the end, everybody is noticing that the lights are bright and everybody is reacting to it. They might not be all together huddled going, the lights are coming on, but they're all collectively responding to it. This is a collective emotional field, a reaction. So entire groups can feel irritable at the same time. I teach this. I don't teach it. I like to highlight it when I'm doing in-person channeling sessions, where before I go into trance channeling, which is allowing a spirit to come into my body and then communicate to you directly, I'll say to the listeners, the ones holding the space, whether it's a crowd of 10 people or a crowd of 150, and it's like, hey, look, I want you to tend to your own needs, because it's very interesting. When we get into a channeled session, everybody's psychic ability is a little bit more heightened. They're like a little bit more aware. And so if this one person is really thirsty or maybe has to pee, and they decide they're not going to do that because they don't want to be rude and they don't want to stand up and take care of themselves while something is happening, they'll start to get uncomfortable. Because now they're thinking about, they want to get up, but they don't want to get up, but they need to get up, but they don't want to because they don't want to disturb anything. And so now they can't listen and connect to the content. So their energy is now rogue. It's not participating in the event. It's now trying to manage itself. And the sensitive person next to them picks up on it. And then they start to manage it. And then the person in front of them and then behind them and then the other side. And then all of a sudden we have a room that's irritated because one person couldn't decide to take care of their own needs. It's so interesting. We actually start trance channeling tomorrow. If you ever wanted to learn to get into trance states, join me. It's a 16-week series. I love doing like exercises and homework and coming back together and just going, do you understand that? Like this is how you're working. I like to teach to your skills rather than teach you how to be me, because that's really rude. You don't need to learn how to be me. You need to learn how to be you, the best version of it. So we learn all different kinds of trance states and then apply how to allow spirit to come through and deliver messages through them. So if you're like, oh my God, that is just the amount of deep woo that I'm looking for, look, link is below. Come join me. If you missed the first class, that's fine. Come for the second. It's also recorded, so you can watch the classes and then you can email me if you have any questions about the content, and then I can answer those in the next class. So you kind of have that like connection. So collective emotional field, people can elicit the same emotion together, whether that's irritated, joy, restlessness. That would have been a good example. The channeling class, the restlessness, sadness, sorrow, grief, all of that can feed off of each other. And it's like this collective energy that's responding to a shared input, which is really interesting because this is what happens when solar flares come to Earth. There is a shared input, and the solar flares are like the example I did before, where like you slowly turning up the lights, and everybody's like, well, what's going on? They're having their own experience, but they're all in the shared experience as well. And so for sensitive people, this can look like heightened intuition. Like you're like, something's going on. And I don't know what it is, but something's going on. And like you're a little alert, like your heart becomes alert. For some of you who aren't really in tune to your intuitive skills, it might look like emotional waves or feel like emotional waves. You're going through this emotion, you surface on top of it, and you're right into the next one, and you're like, I didn't even know what triggered me to go into the next one. I just went. And so this is when you start to notice if you're having responses that aren't commonly like you. This is where you want to pull back and find out where the source is. Some of you might feel like you need more alone time. Some of you might feel other people's moods more intensely, so your empathic and your clairsentient skills will go through the roof. And some of you might sense that something is shifting. And this is where I land the most. It's like I look around my room. I'll be indoors. It's not like I'm staring out a window or having some great vision. I'm looking around a room that I pretty much placed every object in there. I know it very intimately. And I'm like, something's changing. And I'm looking for the change in my own room. And it's like, come on, girl. Like, you know all this stuff. What are you looking for? I'm looking. And then sometimes I'll go outside and I'm that person who stands in the yard and goes like this. What is it? Something's changing. And I'm so happy for my neighbors being so loving and never being like, what's Jamie doing on the lawn again? Oh, good. Shaw Joyce is like, I know that feeling. Something's different. There's an energy shift, but we as humans look for it in a physical form. We look for it in the familiar, but it's unfamiliar. So it's kind of exciting, lifts you up a little bit. Oh, thankfully, is excited for class tomorrow. You're joining the trance channeling class. I can't wait to see you there. We just dive right into it. So, gave some examples of what it could be like as a solo experience. Now let's look at it pulling back as a societal experience as a whole. So, what can happen is we can have a faster exposure of hidden issues, hidden themes that have been going on, undercurrent. Undercurrent energy goes, oh, it's down here. Now I'm on the surface. And it might feel like a little bit of a surprise. Like, where did that come from? Why is that a thing now? Solar flares can help bring this up. Collective impatience with outdated systems. Has anybody been going through that for the last few days? This is going to be a nice one for 2026. Where it's like you were okay with it, you made adjustments, and then a dose of a certain energy comes at you, and you're like, I'm done. I'm not doing this. It's outdated. Right? But it's crazy. It's not just you going through that as an individual. It will be many, 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 many as a societal expression. And it's like all of a sudden everybody comes out and everybody has the same thought. And you're like, you too? Oh, I didn't know you thought that way. You? Oh my God. Like, let's go. Let's rally. Let's connect. So solar flares can be really helpful with that as well. But it can also create some emotional like polarization, creating the differences. So maybe those that are rallying and understanding that there's a likeness, there are those rallying who are understanding that there's a difference. And so we end up with that. But that's the joy of living on Earth, having the extremes. There can be sudden social movements gaining momentum. I mean, let's just look at what's happening right now in our world. If you're not watching this live, like, please leave comments in the thread below, and you can go back and look at what's happening in the world on February 3rd, 2026. Again, this is not about looking at what's good and what's bad. It's just looking at how fast did that progress? How quick did that whip up and just become a thing? Like, so many spiritual traditions, like old traditions, believe that increased solar activity completely supports the awakening through awareness. So that when solar flares happen, it's more about feeding the awareness. There's Leroy. Hey, Leroy. He's been such a turkey today. The cutest turkey cat you've ever seen. Just love him. Oh, he's directly behind me. Nope. So I want to remind you, even though we're awakening, he's so cute, through this awareness of the solar flares, it's not happening by force. I know my dramatic expression before grabbing your shoulders and shaking you, it's really not like that. It's not a force. It's rebooting you. It's making things that are in alignment with you look more apparent. It makes things that are in misalignment with you more uncomfortable. It's an amplifier. It's like hanging out under a clear quartz for way too long. It's just amplifying everything. I love this. Regina is like, did you plan on wearing that yellow sweater for this? No, I didn't. It's just, obviously, it's a color I'm attracted to. And it's cold outside. Aww. Oh, sorry, there's Leroy's being such a handsome man right now. So your responses to solar flares, I'm gonna like quietly beg you to not see it as a weakness. Don't look at it as, if I'm having a response, it's a weakness or it's really affecting me and something must be wrong. I want you to redirect that approach and acknowledge that you are responding to it, but see it as feedback. See it as like you're regulating your energy, not as I need to resist this and I need to block this, but I need to look at it and I need to reconnect to it because it's teaching me, it's highlighting things. So some extra things that you can be doing besides the breath work, which I love, is hydrate, drink water, or drink whatever juices, fruits, and stuff that bring hydration to the body. Ground your energy. Whatever that looks like to you. Is that singing? Is that toning? Is it laughing really hard? Is it hugging a tree? Is it being in nature? Is it doing yoga? Is it hanging out with Leroy? Whatever grounds you, add that to your day like a medicinal element. It's so helpful. It's crazy. It's so helpful. Less screen time as we're sitting here hanging out on our devices. Thank you for that, by the way. I note, should I say, I note your sacrifice for getting connected to content that works for you through a device. Like, there's an exchange there. Movement. So maybe dance a little, maybe put on a song, wiggle around, and let your emotions come through. Let's not take them, hide them, stuff them. If an emotion is showing up, let it move through you, and let's see if you can let it move through you without storytelling behind it. Like sharing why you have the emotion and why you're allowed to have the emotion, or defending the emotion. That could be the storytelling bit. So you just let it move through you, own it, accept it. It's not about having to do a lot more to block yourself and protect yourself from solar flares. It's not what we're here to really talk about. I want you to know that it's a recalibration, it's regulation, it's feedback, it's teaching you and it's helping you highlight what's in alignment with you and what's not in alignment with you. It's not asking you to do more. It's not happening because it's like you got to do more. It's happening so it's giving you the opportunity to be with it instead of manage it. And this is the whole like spiritual awakening and evolution you're going through right now anyways. It's not about doing something more, it's about being it. Like when we're working with compassionate communication and other energies, it's not about learning how to have compassionate communication so that you can use it like a tool and do something with it. It's about having compassionate communication as being a part of you, as being it. My dad is watching this live stream. Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom. I see you texting me. You're blowing up my phone. You think my yellow sweater looks good? Thank you. All right. So if things have felt a little loud for you lately, or emotionally prominent, or mentally strong, or loud, or energetically wow, a little different, it doesn't mean that you're losing your balance. It doesn't mean that you're out of whack. Please don't seek to fix something. Seek to hold it, understand it, observe it, acknowledge it, accept it, let it move through you. It often is trying to show you that your environment is asking for adaptation, not defense. It's not about defending. And I think it's nice that we're a part of the universe in this way, or at least our solar system in this way, because we get this energy from so, so far away, but it reaches us and it touches us and it changes our electrical like system inside, the nervous system and everything. Oh my God, you guys are so cute saying hi to my parents. Dad, you're not going to text me about that? He's texting me. Oh, Red's Wall. My appetite is also very high today. Who in the last week and a half has been the hungriest like cookie monster of all times? Well, I have. And my daughter and several of my friends and pretty much everybody I've talked to is like, yeah, I've increased it. And they're like, maybe it's the weather. Maybe because it's just cold. I'm like, cold can do that to you, but there's something more. Colleen is like, gosh, ravenous, says golden bird brain. Golden bird brain. I think it's just so funny. Yeah. I mean, you need sweets, cookies, anything like this. Like, blah, blah, blah. So this is partly due to the cosmic energy, to the solar flares, like affecting our nervous system and triggering. And it's like we don't know how to take care of it because it's so new. And so our body is like, feed us, like, let's take care of this. And we tend to fall into comforts. Chocolate, which I had a little bit before I came onto this live stream. That's okay. Guys, I really appreciate that you're here and that we're looking at this as not an issue or a problem, but we're looking at it as awareness and letting us teach us how to slow down, identify that we're co-creating our life and our choices from our environment, and our environment just isn't like within reach. It's not just this thing. It's so much bigger. It's beyond the front yard. It's beyond the atmosphere. It's even beyond the sun. And we literally, like, so much, but it's not something that I even think about every day. We collaborate with that energy every single day. So let's use it to our benefit. Ooh. Yeah, Len is like, what's your take on Northern Lights connected to the solar flares? Absolutely. From my understanding and from reading scientific papers about it, it is what happens. Solar flares equal more pretty. I mean, I think they're beautiful. It's on my bucket list to see it. So I'm thinking next year, Iceland. Anybody want to take that adventure with me? Thinking next year, Greece, Iceland. I'd love to put a hiking tour. I just found a company that will carry your packs and you hike from hotel to hotel. And you have these lovely rooms and these lovely foods, and we can walk through the Alps. We can go in so many beautiful places in Europe and Scotland. and be outside and collaborate with like spiritual higher consciousness living in day-to-day life and take these adventures. So I'm going to get it together. Yep. Start setting your money aside for some of these things. I'll definitely put them together. If you're interested, I'm going. I'm coming to Australia at the beginning of April, but it's for an individual client. But what's nice, when I'm there, I'll get a feel for the lay of the land. But I would love to come to Australia to teach and do some channeling. You guys are amazing. I love drinking lemon water while laying in the sun, says Miss Sadea, 808. Keep it up, that lemon water, especially first thing in the morning. Such a great primer for that digestive system. You guys keep it going. Oh, we've got some hikers out there. See, like we can get a little group together and we can have topics for the day to discuss, little mini lessons, and like feel it in our body as we're going through the old lands and old trails that have been there for centuries. I just think it sounds beautiful. Nancy is in for the Iceland trip. Done. We're definitely making that happen. 2027. And I'm going to put out there as soon as possible so that we can start saving for it. Because I know, like, I appreciate your financial investment to the things that I want to make sure that you guys have enough room to do everything. Ooh, Avebury, England for hiking. I hear that's beautiful. Scotland, yes. Greece, yes. Greece on a boat. What do you think? It would only be like 16 of us, so it's a very small. But we'd all be on a boat. We'd go from island to island and do our lessons. Oh my God, we go to Margate and visit Grace's hometown. I've thought about that. I've often wondered if I went there, if she'd be able to recognize anything. Do you know, like centuries apart. I love these ideas. You keep them coming. And if you are watching the recording, put those comments down below. We definitely go back and read them. And I hope you guys are having a very productive, healthy, extraordinary day and rest of the week. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday. I just had to talk about solar flares. And I'll see you next time. Remember, it's not woo-woo. It's true. So let's honor that in an everyday, casual, common way. Take care, everyone. Bye.